Okay, now that I have presented the web page, I want to mention what is the target population, the objective of the class, and also the relevance of the task. The target population will be 11th graders with internet access. Also, the relevance of the task is that the students will practice writing and they will have a basis to write their essays. Also, the objective of the class is that they know how to write a thesis statement through different examples for the writing production. I selected writing because I consider that this is a skill that students don't feel comfortable with because they think that it's boring because of the cognitive demand that writing has, and also because it is important for them when um, having that contact with internet to know how to write properly and how to organize their ideas. Well, now I want to talk about the pedagogical frame that I used. First, I presented the topic that is here that I showed before, presented the topic, then I showed examples of how to write a thesis statement, then I made a quiz um, to make sure that students understood everything that I have explained, and finally they have to produce and they have to make their thesis statement. So this will be PPP, presentation, practice, and production. Well, I divided this on this page. I use the web page in order to students have all what they need here, and also for them to for make the activities and the stages of the activity more organized. Well, uh, I decided to implement many technological tools. Well, some technological tools. First is the web page that I showed. Then I used the field trip that I'm going to show, and the page that is this one with the field trip. This is another technological tool. Okay, this web page allows us to explore what they have on the gallery. For example, they have different articles that the students can see. That this is the idea that they explore this page and identify the different thesis statements. Well, here we have many options with different text and descriptions of the images. Okay, now here in task, I decided to use bulky. Okay, bulky that explain for me the instructions because I think that it is more interesting and they can practice listening to. And Kahoot. Kahoot is a web page where they have different questions and they go to play, but in order to start the quiz, other students have to be online and introduce the code. So thesis assignment, they have two options. The classic, that is player versus player and team versus team. This is useful when students don't have an electronic device and they can share and making teams, but it has to be inside the class or out of class, player versus player. Well, we will select place. Okay, for example, here it starts. The student just paste the code that is here and they start, and they will have different questions that they will answer, and it has some scores. Okay, the other tool that I use is the chat, where students can share what they have, that it will be collaborative learning, because they are going to share the thesis statement and what they think about it at the same time. I decided these tools because I consider that they are interesting, and that the students would like to use these tools in order to learn something. And also because, for example, the chat, I consider that they will have the opportunity to share what they think without being like, they don't need to be in the same setting with the traditional setting, but they can share here through internet. Also the field trips, because I consider that it is a good example of what is real. For example, in a field trip, in that page, those exhibitions are real exhibitions that you can see through this technological tool. And also the quiz, because, well, sometimes our students think that quizzes are boring, but this is a new way, and it's competitive, and I think that students are competitive, so I think that they will like and they will be motivated to pay attention and to get a high score in the quiz. Okay, finally, I'm going to talk about the good aspects, the advantages, and the disadvantages of the task. Well, first of all, the advantages is that they are going to have all the tasks there. They can practice if they are at home or if they are at school, and also that they are innovative and they can share their opinion in the chat. I really like that. Well, the disadvantage is that maybe they will be a little bit confused because there are many technological tools. That is why I consider that I have to be there to guide them and to give the instructions properly on how to use the technology. Well, I think that's all.